The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association, and this week we are featuring Manitowoc County. Manitowoc County is a Wisconsin county on the western shore of Lake Michigan. It's known for its maritime history, including shipbuilding and submarine building. Submarines, landing craft, and tankers became the focus of Manitowoc's shipbuilding industry during times of war. The county also has many small communities with a strong agricultural industry. The county was created in 1836, before Wisconsin became a state. Manitowoc County definitely takes advantage of their location on the coast of Lake Michigan. From balloons on the river to kites over the lake to celebrating the county fair, the calendar is packed with events across the county. Just some of the amazing events in Manitowoc County are Kites over Lake Michigan, Owl Fest, Pumpkin Fest, Snow Fest, Sputnik Fest, the Lakeshore Holiday Parade, Mishicot River Fest, and the list goes on. One that I really want to check out is the Alpaca Odyssey in Two Rivers. It's a celebration of new alpaca babies, and the event helps the Two Rivers Mishicot Food Pantry. That's on June 1st from 10 to 3 and attracts hundreds of people. Speaking of Two Rivers, it's the birthplace of the ice cream sundae, which we will actually be talking about on this very episode of the Cabin Podcast. You can still get a classic ice cream sundae at the Ice Cream Parlor in the historic Washington House Museum and Visitor Center in Two Rivers. It's a county of rich history and plenty of fun things to do and see. For more, visit wicounties.org.
The Cabin is also brought to you by the WCA Group Health Trust. Serving local governments and school districts, the WCA Group Health Trust partners closely with the members to fulfill their employee health benefit obligations in a fiscally responsible manner. Learn more at wcaght.org. Hey Cabin listeners, if you love Wisconsin as much as we do, you need to go check out Shop Discover Wisconsin. It's your go-to spot for all things Badger State. Whether you're looking for cozy apparel, unique gifts, or home goods that show off your Wisconsin pride. From comfy sweatshirts perfect for chilly nights at the cabin, to handcrafted items inspired by the Northwoods, there's something for every Wisconsinite. So head over to shop.discoverwisconsin.com and gear up for your next adventure. That's shop.discoverwisconsin.com, because Wisconsin isn't just a place, it's a lifestyle.
Welcome back to the Cabin Podcast. I'm Andrea Belke.
And I'm Megan Christian.
And this is our 4th episode, Megan.
I know. I can't believe it. That's insane.
We've made it and we're still going strong.
Yes. We have a bit of a special guest on today. We have Kaiser in the cabin with us today. You might know him from Shot of Wisco podcast. You might know him from Wisconsin Clothing Company, but welcome, Corey.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, what's crazy is like a lot of people probably don't actually know a lot of people that follow us don't know my name.
Yeah.
I'm just like the clothing dude. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're happy to have you because we kind of thought for this episode we'd do a deep dive in Wisconsin more.
Love it.
We've had on some fun Wisconsin guests. We've told our stories, but we want to get some of the facts. And because you're a fun dude and you make really fun videos about Wisconsin facts, we thought it'd be cool to kind of quiz you a little bit on some things.
Okay. I'm open for it. Let's do it.
Well, before we go into that, though, give me just like an overview of where you're from and if you ever moved away from Wisconsin.
No, I'm from a small town right next to Platteville. I'm in the most southwest part of the state, Keeler, Wisconsin. If you blink, you will miss us. And a lot of people think it's Kiel. No, we're not Kiel, Wisconsin. We're Keeler, Wisconsin. You got to add the ER. I've graduated from Platteville when I was in 2018. So since then, I kind of dove into the clothes. We started as the 608 as a retail business. And since then, we rebranded about 2 years ago to Wisconsin Clothing Company. It feels like a lot longer, but and since then it's just been making content, having fun, and kind of representing the true Wisconsinite through what we all do.
Yeah, so. I mean, COVID was a pretty big time for you too, because your TikTok literally blew up. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, what's crazy, the first video I did, I put Todd Rundgren's Bang on These Drums All Day. I put that behind a video, and I said, hey, I want to see how many Wisconsinites are on TikTok. And that was kind of just the start of it, and I didn't realize kind of what it would become. I mean, I feel like anything with social media, you just got to throw yourself out there.
Yeah.
Some things work, some things don't. You just kind of figure it out along the way, and you just got to like what you put out there. For us, we just really wanted to make something other Wisconsinites could be proud of, and stay really true to our roots and how local we are. I tell people I'm literally just a small town kid. Yes, coming to Madison, sometimes the the Beltline gives me anxiety driving on it. I mean,
Me
like that's
too, to be fair.
Yeah, it's true. You know, it's very classic Wisconsin. I went up north every summer with my family to our cabin. You know, I love deer hunting. We've always used to, you know, every Friday we'd go to a fish fry down in Southwest Wisconsin or go to a supper club. So like my life is very much into that. And now as I'm getting older, you know, I do own a dive bar now. I am an owner of a supper club.
Nice.
You know, and I make clothing for Wisconsinite. So I do like think I'm a true Wisconsinite.
Yeah,
True.
sure. Well, because I think a podcast you did before, you said you're a homer because I'm a boomeranger.
Sure.
You know, so I went to New York for 10 years and then I came back. So now I'm fully delving into Wisconsin, even though I did grow up here.
Yeah, I'm sure New York's just like Keeler, Wisconsin.
Right.
Just a little
exactly
different.
like it.
Yeah, well, you know what was interesting in New York is my favorite bars were the Wisconsin bars.
Sure.
You know, like maybe some Wisconsin bar owners that went out there because it always reminded me of home.
Yeah.
What's your bar like?
The diviest of dives. Our food is Tombstone pizzas and Lay's chips.
Nice.
So, we do have popcorn. Sometimes it's fresh, sometimes it's not. That is as divey as it gets. $2 beers though. For our happy hour and $3 beers, which probably up here is like you can't find that.
Right. You said you have a cabin. How does this compare to it?
It honestly gives me a little feel. It gives me a little rustic feel. Like I feel like I'm there. Yeah, and like I said, I just feel like I've always loved it here. I've never wanted to leave. I know I feel like people when they grow up like have to go experience other things. A lot of times they come back, but like people, you know, they have different interests in their world and their worlds that they want to like leave. I've never had that. I've always loved being here.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge family oriented person. So when I'm from a small town, everyone feels like family, and I never want to leave that.
100%. Well, and I think we should get into this fact or fiction.
Yeah. Okay. So Corey, this is how it's going to go down. We are going to read a statement and you're going to decide if it's fact or fiction.
Okay. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Are you nervous?
Or you can just say true or false because we know fact or fiction.
I think we got to keep it fact or fiction.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Megan, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Okay. We'll start off what we think is on the easier side.
Oh boy.
Fact or fiction? Wisconsin has more cows than people.
Fiction.
Yeah, you're right. Fiction.
5-to-1 ratio.
Actually, okay, so...
Oh, I'm talking dairy cows.
Yeah.
It's actually, so I think our stats are all cows, so all cattle.
Sure. And
cattle.
honestly, bad on my part not thinking about all cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought dairy cows.
How could you? But Wisconsin had 3.5 million cattle, including cows and calves, as of January 1st, 2024.
Cows need more loving in the state. They do.
Exactly. But Wisconsin has about 6 million people. So
awesome.
Kind of crazy.
All right. So fact or fiction, Wisconsin is known as the Badger State, named after the animals in the region.
That sounds like a fact.
Okay, so it's actually fiction.
Really?
But when I explain this, we can decide. Because if you look this fact up, everyone says, okay, it's actually named after the miners. So, okay, so when lead was discovered in Wisconsin, in Mineral Point, there were all these lead miners. They lived in the tunnels. This was in the 1800s.
And that's what,
And so they kind of burrowed in there instead of homes. And then they were named after the badgers.
Sounds right. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So basically these lead miners were living in these, they're burrowing like badgers. And so that's how the name came to be. But I would actually argue that you were still calling them after the badgers.
Right? That's what I thought,
we always use the animal now.
But even we're saying the miners are like...
I'm wrong though. So technically.
Yeah. Factually, you are wrong.
Yeah, but then the badger was adopted as a state animal in 1957. And I always think it's interesting because growing up in Wisconsin on a farm, I have yet to see a badger. Have you ever seen a badger?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably the meanest animal I've ever seen.
Where have you seen one before?
I've seen one on our hunting grounds before.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, but yeah, I've seen a couple of them. Not like I've seen 2 in person. I've seen one on like a trail camera.
Yeah.
But they're like very evil animals, to be honest.
Yeah, they look like it.
Yeah, they want to be left alone and not messed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen a badger, Nick?
Yeah, I've seen one dunking at halftime, a big one, like 6.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I think we should move on to the next one because I really want to ask this. We hit on it on our very first episode of the podcast. So this might test your memory if you're fake or not listening to our podcast.
Let's see. I'm
Okay.
ready.
There is quicksand in Wisconsin. Fact or fiction?
Oh man. Quicksand? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there is, because like I feel like there's a lot of things in Wisconsin that people don't think would belong in there. Like the Apostle Islands, like anything. I would say, yeah, there is.
Fact. And Andrea and Nick did not believe me at first, but sandbars in the Wisconsin River are constantly moving, and the downstream end of a sandbar can sometimes act like quicksand.
Sure.
And fun fact, you guys already know this if you are a listener, but I got stuck in quicksand in like 3rd or 4th grade.
In Wisconsin?
Yep. In a creek behind my friend's house.
And you got out.
I did get out.
But it was traumatizing
But it
for
was
her.
very
It was a
traumatizing.
big bully that pushed her in.
It was. It
Oh
was.
no.
That was so Wisconsin. Oh no.
Oh no.
It's okay. We were talking about like what's the most Wisconsin thing about us, and I was like, oh, my accent, my O's.
Yeah. Oh wow. I just was gonna start with that. But like and it's crazy. Like before I even got onto like social media, I had no clue. Like you really don't understand. Like you just think you're talking normal.
I know.
And then like there's always a comment in every video I make, like his accent's crazy. And it's like, what accent?
Yeah, because we don't hear it because we're around it every single day.
Yeah.
So
my wife's from Iowa, and she tells me like when I get frustrated, I really
comes out.
I really
Yeah.
start like it's like from I'm up north, like in the UP land. But we've always joked about that.
That's so funny. I was telling Andrea before we got you on, I was like, Corey's got kind of that Youper accent. Like you'll notice when he comes in. But
yeah,
I
and
think
I'm from the
great.
southwest part of the state, so you wouldn't expect it. But I don't know. Like, see, like that sounded normal to me. You're like,
I love it though.
Sorry.
I love
it's
it.
okay. It's okay.
No,
I
I
love
mean,
it.
I'm not one to make fun of it. My accent's a little more neutral now, but it used to be very strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
All right. You're doing great.
Yeah, this is
trying.
good. This
All
is
right.
good.
Trying my best here.
Fact or fiction? Cheesehead hats originated in Green Bay after a huge win against the Bears on December 4th, 1960.
I'm thinking like, why would it be that game? Like, when would it actually originate? I feel like it was later.
Super
I'm gonna say fiction.
specific.
I'm going to say fiction.
What do you think, Nick?
I'm going to say fact because it's super specific the way you phrased it.
Tricked you, Nick.
Uh-oh.
See, I thought it was fiction.
Yeah, it is fiction. So, okay, this is what's really interesting is the first cheesehead was actually worn at a Brewers game.
Really?
Yes. So in the 1980s.
They stole it.
So what happened was, the cheesehead was originally a derogatory term towards Wisconsinites.
Yep.
Making fun of the cheese industry, sick burn. And so this guy, Ralph Bruno, developed the cheesehead because I think he originally saw people wearing kind of a cardboard cheesehead,
Sure.
just a makeshift one.
Yeah.
And so then he was reupholstering a couch in his mom's house in Milwaukee. He saw that foam inside, the foam in those. Yeah, you know what I'm talking
We're
about.
innovative here.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah,
really
yeah.
are.
So
I know.
he used the foam, he cut it into a triangle, he burned holes in it, and then he spray painted it yellow. He wore it to a Brewers game. And then at first, his friends were making fun of him because they thought it looked ridiculous, which imagine the first time you see a cheesehead.
Mhm.
Right.
But then I guess the ladies loved it and they kept coming up to him and wanting to wear it. So then his friends were really into it. And then it took off. I don't know. I was trying to research. I don't know how it got from Brewers to Packers.
They stole it.
I
Yeah.
know.
Well, I'm kind of curious to know because I'm curious to know who came up with the derogatory term cheesehead because it obviously didn't work very well for them, one. And two, we call Illinois people fibs and they just can't dig themselves out of that hole. And I think it's so funny. You kind of think of the difference between those two. They didn't turn it into an actual thing they put on
I
their
think we need to think of this as a positive. I mean,
right?
they literally took an old couch and made it into something that's now like a phenomenon in Wisconsin.
Mhm.
That's how innovative we are here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we have one downstairs. We should have brought it up.
Yeah, the question is, do cheeseheads make people more attractive? Are you more attracted to someone if they're wearing a cheesehead?
It makes me hungrier.
That, I guess, yeah, because that means they like the Packers.
Yeah.
You
Or
guys ever
Wisconsin.
heard about the guy that got his life saved by one of them?
What?
No.
Using it as like a
A
float.
flotation device?
Oh.
He's an airplane pilot and he crashed and he put it in front of him and it saved his life.
Wow.
This
I
is
had
why
no
Wisconsin
clue.
is
I'm
the
learning
best.
so much in
Kinda
this room
cool,
right
right?
now. I love
Right?
it. Yeah.
What? I need to really look into that.
Yeah, I'll Google it real quick.
Okay, that is really fascinating.
That's so good.
But it is interesting. I mean, looking up these facts, there are a lot of
Yeah.
things you just assume.
Getting
And-
the girls and saving lives. That's what the cheesehead does.
There you go, Andrea.
Oh,
Okay, wait.
we got the headline.
Yeah, I can see the headline. Cheesehead saves man from serious injury. Chicago Tribune.
It'd be funnier if like the pilot was from Chicago and it's like a fib was saved by a cheesehead.
That is so funny. I
Yeah,
wonder if the
ironic.
person who came up with cheesehead was from Illinois. I'd be really interested.
If what?
If the person who came up with the derogatory term cheesehead was
I
from
think so.
Illinois.
I
Really?
think so, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't work out too well for them, I guess.
Yeah, thanks.
Right? Okay, well, speaking of water, fact or fiction, surfing was invented in Wisconsin.
I mean, if it did, it would be Sheboygan, without a doubt. But there's no way that we created surfing. I wouldn't think. I'm gonna say fiction. Is it true?
Fiction.
Okay.
But the surfboard was
Aw.
created
Okay.
in Wisconsin.
In Sheboygan?
Not in Sheboygan.
Oh,
Washburn.
really?
Up by Ashland. Yep. I was up in Ashland, Washburn area doing an episode for one of Discover Wisconsin's digital shorts. And we were
Sure.
in the Washburn Historical Center and they have this little museum. And I see a surfboard and I'm asking the lady, I'm like, why is there a surfboard? She's like, it was invented in Wisconsin. Didn't you know that? And I was like, what? And yeah, he invented the modern surfboard. He invented little camera rigs that can go on it, but he spent his free time on Lake Superior. He would go to Sheboygan and surf.
We have too much time on our hands. I mean,
know.
we're creating the cheesehead. We created surfing. Basically, it's the surfboard, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
But Sheboygan is a hot spot for surfing, actually.
Yeah.
And I went to college down in Kenosha and I would see people surfing down there all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm too scared to do that.
Malibu of the Midwest.
It's hard.
Yeah,
Surfing,
100%.
have you surfed?
No. Hey, does this look like a body that surfs? No.
I mean, anyone's capable of anything. So.
No, like I know my boundaries, and surfing's outside of that. I like fishing in a boat. That's fun for
Yeah.
me. I love skiing. I do that kind of stuff, but surfing's no. I'd hurt myself.
I'm more scared of like the creatures in the water.
I've always been afraid of falling in the water, and then if you fall in front of the board hitting me, like
I've never
Like,
thought about that before.
yeah.
That's
It's
a real
hard.
fear.
yeah.
Yeah,
Have
I've done
you?
a couple times, but
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I feel like I'm pretty athletic, but surfing is so embarrassing.
different.
So much balance.
I would rather just ride behind a boat on like a tube, and then whoever, like, for instance, we've all probably been on a tube where our dad or uncle or someone
Whipping us off.
that like literally tried killing us at one point in our
Yes.
lives. No, I just enjoyed that a little more than surfing.
Being launched in the
Yeah.
air when you hit a wave.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the best though?
Yes.
Especially when you're a kid and you don't have the fear of getting hurt.
Yeah. Until you smack the water so hard and all you can do is scream.
Or you go up and then you fall onto somebody on the tube. But it's the most fun I've ever had.
100%. I
Yeah.
think I got launched like 8 feet in the air one time.
Yeah,
Like,
I swear it's like when you're going in the back as a kid and you get cocky, like, oh, you can't knock me off. Like dads take that as most serious thing in their lives is to make sure that you regret that. You see it on every lake in Wisconsin all summer long.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Fact or fiction? Wisconsin once tried to secede and become its own dairy-based nation.
I'm starting to think like you gave me, I think I have two facts and one fact and three fictions so far. So like, are you really going to hammer me with fictions right now?
You're like, are
'Cause
they
that
going in
doesn't
a
feel-
pattern?
I'm going to say fiction.
Yeah, that's fiction.
Okay. I was going to say.
I mean, that would be hilarious if true.
Yeah.
What's nuts is I had to think about it. Like that wasn't just like oh no way, there's no way we would have done that. Like, oh, did we?
I mean, kind of sounds like something we might do at some point.
Like guys got together and some gals and we all were in a garage drinking beers and that's what we came up with.
Yeah.
That sounds like something we would have thought of.
Probably somebody did think about that. They
Yeah.
just probably didn't
Oh,
get very
yeah.
far.
What if we split off?
yeah.
Yeah.
We start our own cheese democracy.
Yeah. It's our currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currency is trading like
Yeah.
Car Valley
It'd
cheese.
be our cheddar.
Yeah. In case you couldn't see, Nick just went our cheddar.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay. Oh, I like this one. I found this one out. Fact or fiction, Wisconsin has a town filled with gnomes.
I know we have one filled with trolls because I just passed it on the way here. Gnomes. I don't even know who would be known for gnomes, but I still kind of want to say fact because I feel like there's some town. I'm gonna say fact.
It is fiction, but you're right with the trolls. That's where I was going. I was saying fiction, but Wisconsin does have a town filled with trolls.
Yep. And they have good beer too.
They do. Yeah. I was there for filming not too long ago also. I mean, Mount Horeb's known for its many wooden trolls. Started appearing in the mid-1980s, which is kind of just like random. But apparently the town has really deep Norwegian roots. So that's why they started filling it with wooden trolls, which is so interesting. Imagine how cute it would be. You're just walking through and you just see all these random little wooden trolls everywhere.
I don't even know the difference between a troll and a gnome.
A troll, I believe it has hair. A gnome has a hat.
Okay.
And its eyes are covered.
I thought a gnome belongs in a garden.
Yeah, bridges and gardens maybe.
Yeah.
I thought a troll was under the bridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
So trolls under the bridge and a gnome's in a garden.
It's something about
I don't know, maybe.
Something like Wisconsin. Like I feel like towns like we almost like started running out of things to be known for.
Right. So we just keep going.
Yeah. Like even like you go up to Rhinelander and they're about the hodag and it's like, that's not real, man. Make that up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I know it's random stuff. And I can't remember the town, but somewhere has like a giant pink elephant.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
At a gas station or something too.
Yeah, we just talked about it on our podcast.
I need to go look
Yeah, we
this
gotta
up.
find
There's
that
huge
right
statues
now.
everywhere.
Yes.
There's like a potato masher outside of one town.
Yep. It's
DeForest?
in DeForest. Yeah,
DeForest.
you're right.
What's its name? Pinky?
Pinky. Yeah. It is a life-size pink elephant named Pinky, and it has nerd glasses, and I don't know if the camera can see it, but that's Pinky the elephant. Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah, there's so many things that are like that around state, and you just like go through the town, you're like, how did we land on this being what we're known for?
Right? I know. My hometown is known for the Wizard of Oz, but that's like a real thing, I guess.
So is that in Oconomowoc?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the statues? Sure.
Yep. You
Cool.
ever been to Oz Plaza?
No, I haven't. Like I said, we just talked about it like a week ago.
Yeah. You got to
about
make your
how
way
many
over there.
statues are everywhere.
Wait, so why is it
Really?
known for Wizard of Oz?
So the Wizard of Oz premiered there for the first time ever, which is like pretty monumental because it's the first first movie that premiered in color. So it was like a huge deal at the time. But basically, I'm pretty sure like one of the, don't quote me on this, morticians from the film convinced them to have it there because he was from there. But Oconomowoc's like really rich in history. A ton of presidents would always come there. They had a bunch of theaters and places where they would come. But it's also like a lot of old money people from Chicago coming up, stuff like that. So I guess it was just the place to be. Still is, in my opinion. I love that town.
Oconomowoc's awesome.
Yeah.
I know like when we go there, my wife loves it. Like there's good shopping and like a great
The
area.
boutiques.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She loves it there.
Yep. That's like where most of my clothes are from.
You know, what's
Yeah.
wild is I went to school in Aberdeen, South Dakota, where Frank Baum wrote Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And they have a Wizard of Oz park with the statues as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's your invisible string to Wisconsin.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Right there.
Everything gets tied back to us somehow.
Yeah.
It does. It
You know,
really
sometimes in
does.
a really, really weird way, but it does.
I imagine most people feel this way about their home state, right? Or not?
It's like
Like
when
what?
you buy a new car and then you start seeing it everywhere on the road.
Yeah. I'm just saying I always feel so drawn to people that have a Wisconsin connection or you think it's so
for
but
sure.
does everyone must feel like that.
Yeah. I mean, like you got to like even like just because I know my parents snowbird in Fort Myers, Florida, like you go down there and it's like you could spot a Wisconsinite from like a mile away.
Yeah, you
know,
can.
It's 50 degrees and they're wearing shorts and a Badger t-shirt. And it's like everyone else wearing coats but you, pal. You're from Wisconsin.
I know. That was me the other day, though. When the sun was out and it was like 46 degrees, I took my dog for a walk in shorts.
And that's like perfect how you said like in New York where like you go on a vacation and you find yourself at like the Wisconsin themed bar.
Yeah.
It's like you went on vacation to leave Wisconsin. You somehow are back in Wisconsin in a way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Next one. Fact or fiction? Wisconsin was the birthplace of the ice cream sundae.
True. In Two Rivers.
There you go.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Okay. Do you know the story behind it? Otherwise, I can tell it.
No, not the Sunday. Wasn't it like a little kid?
Okay, so Ed Berners was the owner of a soda fountain, and he's credited with inventing it. So in 1881, a customer, George Hollauer, asked Berners to top ice cream with syrup. So usually that was only used for sodas at the time. So Berners liked that. He started selling it on Sundays for a nickel. And then a young girl came in and asked for it during the week. And so we put it on the regular menu. So what I'm confused about is Ed Burners is credited with it. But what about the customer who asked for it?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Right. Absolutely. They thought of it.
Yeah.
Justice for George.
Justice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's even a historical marker in Two Rivers Central Memorial Park commemorating it. There's a lot of pride there. There is some drama though, right? So Ithaca, New York claims they invented the Sunday as well. Their mayor sneered at Two Rivers in a New York Times article saying, we have the historical documents and they don't. And then Two Rivers sent a cease and desist for their Sunday slander. A lot of drama.
To be honest, I've seen that thing about Two Rivers a lot. I've never seen the New York thing. So
Yeah.
and to be
feel
honest, I'm
like-
gonna act like you never said that. I'm just gonna keep going that
I
we
know.
made it.
I know. I feel like New York and Wisconsin have a lot of like similar things. Like I know that a lot of brownstone buildings in Wisconsin, the brownstone comes from New York,
Mhm.
but then a lot of New York brownstone buildings, the brownstone comes from Wisconsin.
Really?
Why don't we just use our own?
Yeah. I have no
Isn't that
idea.
weird? This is me like being like the history buff.
Yeah.
Of Discover
I've
Wisconsin.
never heard of
I
that.
learned it in my digital short.
Wow.
The same one with the surfboard.
That's how Milwaukee got its name, Cream City, right?
Yep. Well, that's from Cream City Brick. Yes. I got to go in the building that has the original Cream City Brick. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a PR firm now.
Sure.
Yeah. Which is really interesting.
That's super
But
cool.
It's cool. Yeah. I didn't know that before, Nick. And I also didn't know why the Brewers were called the Brewers at first until old Captain
turned
Podcast
21.
host Eric Paulson came in my office and told me. And I felt so stupid because I was like, I'm from Wisconsin. I should know this. For people that don't know, the Brewers are called the Brewers because Wisconsin's known for brewing beer. I didn't know what it meant before. I thought it was just like, oh, fun little name.
And Milwaukee's known
Oh.
for like they made
Brew
some of
beer.
the biggest brands of all the beers.
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like didn't really put two and two
Well,
together.
sometimes you don't. Like
You don't.
sometimes it's just something you just go with a
I was
name,
just like,
you roll
oh,
with it.
they're called the Brewers. Okay,
Well,
I'll call them the Brewers.
What's even crazy, like I try to talk about all the time about what Milwaukee's rich history in beer is. Like whenever I talk about Miller Lite or Pabst, like Illinois people are like, no, that's not you guys. Like it's because Pabst is now in
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah,
And I'm like, no, that's us. Like they might have moved there, but they were like, it all started in Milwaukee.
yeah,
So I feel like that's like a huge thing that like all these big brands left. Like they don't all do like everything in Wisconsin anymore. And like Illinois people are like, oh, no. I feel like I fight Illinois people all the time in their comments.
Right?
Probably the
Yeah.
most. But
As
it's
you
like,
should.
no, let me set the record straight. Like that's us, not you.
Yeah.
Can you
And-
explain the rivalry? Okay, I feel like I just don't get heated with the Illinois,
Mhm.
back and forth. But I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So do you actually feel it in your bones?
Oh, for sure.
I do too. I don't know how you don't.
We're just absolute polar opposite people. Like let's talk. Like we drive slow, they drive really, really fast.
Starts on the
Yeah.
highway. I
It
feel
starts
like.
on the roads.
Yeah.
Like they drive recklessly, we don't.
Yeah,
They want to get somewhere fast. We want to wave to everyone on the way there.
yeah,
Like just the way we kind of like do our, their pride and joy is like Chicago and like the big city. And like, I feel like we're not 80% of Wisconsin, or, they're used to cheering for teams that really suck. And we're used to, world championships and Super Bowls.
yeah.
So
true.
I feel like there's just always that big brother, little brother feel,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to sports, where they hate us because we win all the time and we let them know that. And then we hate them because they always think the next year's theirs
Yeah.
type of deal.
And then when they do get a victory, they only get like an hour of
Mhm.
feeling that because they're gonna get attacked the minute
Yeah.
we find out.
And don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of times, especially over like when Aaron Rodgers was there for so long, and like I had weak moments, guys, where I felt bad. It left me very quickly. Like it was like, oh, yeah, we beat him again. And it's like, can they ever win? And then it's like 2 minutes later, I'm drinking Miller Lite and like, I'm over it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
like,
I
I don't
stink.
care that much.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like we're just completely different people.
Okay, so if you're watching from Illinois, I love you. I do. I love you. I don't feel it. Maybe it's because I was gone for a while.
Yeah, that's
I don't
definitely
feel it,
why.
but I do like the passion, and I like the
For sure.
if it's a sibling energy. I will
Yeah.
say I kind of liked, even though they do lose a lot. I was watching a Bears game with some of my friends, and
You better think long and hard about whatever you're about to say.
no, but I kind of liked their whole perception of it. Is they lost. not surprisingly. But then they kept saying, bear down. We got to bear down. And I kind of like that. You got to dig deep, bear down. I like the phrase bear down.
But like, I don't like in my mind, bear down means like there's a bear down on the ground and they're dead.
Right, like man down.
That's what, man down. That's what I think. I'm like, are you saying you guys are dead? I've never understood it. I will say I love Chicago. We go there all the time. Like I have no ill will for Chicago. But like when it comes to Packers Bears, like let's be honest, they've wanted to be the Packers forever. Like they wish they were the Packers franchise. They really do.
They really do.
And we love rubbing it in their face. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. My least favorite part about Illinois has to be the tolls.
For sure.
The tolls.
I get so freaked
they take
out.
a toll on you.
Yeah. Wow, there's so many puns on
Do you know what I'm talking about when you're driving and you have to go through the tollway?
Yeah.
And then you forget.
Like, and you forget and you get the thing in the mail, and it's like, oh, you didn't pay your tolls, your $14. We're gonna double it now.
Yeah, I've never loved. Hey, we're gonna make you pay to ride our roads.
I'd rather have potholes.
Yeah, and we have a lot of them.
Oh yeah, we do have a lot of potholes.
Yeah,
we do. Dude, we could do a whole episode on potholes.
It's the season. Have you ever got wrecked by a pothole?
Oh, for sure. I feel like there's a lot, like especially now when like they're filled with water, that might look very innocent and they're not in any way, shape, or form. And you feel like, hey, is my tire still on my car, or did it roll off into the ditch?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel it. Especially now, it's like even Madison. Like,
oh yeah.
Hey, what are we fixing this time? Why does it take 2 hours to get across town?
There's always cones one lane closed.
I'm 29. I don't know if there's ever been a time I come to Madison for Badger games. It's like, no, there's always road construction.
Yeah.
There's never been a time it's like, we're like, oh no, we're good. We're good with what we got.
Sometimes I think they put the cones out for fun.
Like just to, yeah.
Well, no, it's fall, winter, spring, and construction.
Yeah. Road construction. And it even brings me to like, hey, do we got enough roundabouts?
Right.
We like just quit it for a second.
I agree. I hate roundabouts so much. They actually make me angry.
I would love to know of how many roundabouts there are in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Me too.
Nick will pretend to look it up, but he makes that noise. But you actually should look it up, Nick.
Yeah, you should. While we're doing the next fact
I would like to think that like every minute that we've been on this podcast, like there's an intersection being turned into a roundabout.
Honestly, as we speak. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Like
I love the old-fashioned four-way stop where then you go, no, you go, no, you go, and then you wave, and then
you both go a little bit, and then it's like, oh,
no, you go.
602.
Wow. 602.
There's 72 counties in Wisconsin.
And that's more than any other state in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, there's 72 counties. That's like a little less than 10 per county. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. What happened to the old, like the hand signals? I think that's all getting shot out the window with these roundabouts.
Yeah. Bring back the hand signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys, when you guys see people in small towns, do you wave? Or like, if you go past, I don't even know the guy, and no matter what, I'm waving.
There's always like that woman and her dog walking down the street, and she's like waving, and I'm like, oh, hi.
That's what I missed when I lived in New York. Sure. Is if you wave to somebody in New York,
they're flipping you off.
Yeah, I think you're crazy.
So like if your hand's on the wheel, like do you just do like the whole like this?
The two.
Yep.
Yeah.
100% to everybody.
That's it every time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we should probably get back to this fact or fiction. But okay, this one, Wisconsin was home to mammoths.
God, I just feel like that's true. Just from I'm going to say fact.
Fact. And if you really want to see it, you can go to the Milwaukee Public Museum. It was found in Kenosha County on this man's farm, which is really random, but it was actually the first evidence of like human life. I can't put my finger on the number of years ago, but they found that they were trying to butcher it because it was buried with all these tools and like butchering knives and stuff. But it is like the most recovered mammoth in history. It's in North America in history. It's 83% recovered, and that thing is huge. Like,
wow.
I know.
I just feel like, like what we go through in winter, like it just makes me feel like, we had to have mammoths at some point.
Right? Well, and we have the Ice Age Trail. Maybe that's a little weird for me to say. Think of that. Like, you think of Ice Age and you're like, oh, the first thing I think of is mammoths.
You are a history buff.
I am. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. I love it.
Bringing the facts.
You'll learn it. I just like, if I'm bored, I'm watching a documentary. Like weird stuff too.
No, I should probably stop researching possums as much and and get into some history.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing. We're going to talk cheese, right?
Okay.
Do you like cheese?
Love it.
Yeah.
Good.
I love cheese. I'm lactose intolerant.
Okay.
Trying to get that lactate sponsorship.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was. And then I was wondering why I was always sick because I was eating so much string cheese a day.
Mhm.
But I'll just take some lactate and then I'll be able to have some. But
Yeah.
okay, I want to give you some Wisconsin cheese facts. These are all real. Wisconsin cheesemakers have won more awards than any other state or nation. Nice.
Yeah.
Wisconsin produces more flavors, styles, and varieties of cheese, over 600 varieties than
That's
anywhere
nuts.
else.
I believe it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, this is interesting. Wisconsin is the only master cheesemaker program in the U.S.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yep. We take it so seriously that you have to pass. It's just like any other trades job. You need to basically be a master to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then Wisconsin's the only state to require a license to make cheese.
Yes.
So we take it very seriously.
Mhm. Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Which leads me to my next fact or fiction. The largest mozzarella stick in America is located in Wisconsin.
Okay, wait. So are you saying like it's done, like it's made, like, or it's like a statue, or
A mozzarella
actual
stick
mozzarella
that you can
stick.
eat.
I'm gonna say fact.
That's correct.
Okay.
So there's a place in West Dallas, Alfonso's.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I have.
Have you heard of the mozzarella stick there?
No, I haven't, but I've heard of
Alfonso's?
Alfonso's.
Yeah, so they have the largest mozzarella stick in America.
How big is
of
it?
course, it's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
How big?
I mean, probably
Could we all eat it? Like, would it be like a meal for all of
it
us?
would be a meal for all of us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always going to be competitors. So there's a place in Las Vegas that claims that they have the largest, but Alfonso's I think has the largest.
Sure.
And you're in luck
Because we have it here.
because we got some mozzarella sticks.
I'm so excited.
What?
Wait, Nick, bring
No
them over
way.
here.
Yeah. So here's
They're
mozzarella sticks.
Oh my gosh. So guys, Andrea went and picked these up right before the podcast. Grab one.
Yeah. So these
Oh
are
my God,
from-
they're hot.
They're
Yeah,
still warm.
I just
So
got
where's this
them.
from?
These are from
Alfonso's.
Alfonso's.
It is.
Yes. So you're looking at the largest mozzarella.
Dude, what in the world?
I like can't even open it.
When's the tinfoil stop? There we go.
Holy crap.
There's a lot of. Oh wow.
I don't want to get your couch dirty.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Guys, this is genuinely,
This is ridiculous.
I know.
It's making me so hungry.
Should we all give a little dunk?
I mean, look at there.
Should we take a bite?
Okay, the story behind them is they kind of made this. So I was just there, and the owner told me the story. They were making regular size mozzarella sticks, and then
Yeah.
they kind of made it as a joke, and then it just took off. And so I don't know. Maybe you've seen some videos that go viral online.
I mean, even to have a fryer this big is nuts.
Yeah. So it's at Alfonso's in West Dallas. So
Sure.
should we do a little? Should
Hold
we,
on, I'm gonna have Nick take a video. Here, Nick, take a video of us choosing our mozzarella stick. I'm not wrapping this thing.
What?
Is this weird to hold it like
all right,
this?
ready?
All right.
Okay, cheers.
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 I'm giving it a dunk.
I'm just going to take
Oh
a
my
bite.
gosh, I'm just gonna take a bite here.
That is so much cheese.
It is so cheesy and I love it.
Mm-hmm. Dude.
Shout out Alfonso.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
That's so good.
it's dense.
That is so much cheese and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find this anywhere else. I promise.
Mm-mm.
Only in Wisconsin.
Thank you so much, Corey. I mean, you can take that home with you.
Yeah.
Really? Thank you. I'm going to lay it down for a second.
Yeah,
okay,
go for it.
How can people find you?
You can find us on Wisconsin Clothing Company socials across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and then Shot of Wisco on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So,
Awesome.
Or WisconsinClothingCo.com for all of our clothing.
Amazing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
No, thank you. This has been awesome.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the mozzarella stick.
No, that's the best surprise of my day. You guys really made it. I appreciate you guys.
I love it. All right, Corey. Well, thanks for coming on, and we will see you guys next time on the Cabin Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on YouTube at Discover Wisconsin, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
See ya. The Cabin Podcast is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association. The WCA is the foremost voice of county officials representing all 72 counties in Wisconsin. Nearly every action taken by the executive and legislative branches of state government affects local government. Counties need to play a pivotal role in these actions, and the WCA is the organization through which dialogue and cooperation can occur. The WCA works diligently to provide services to our membership that allow them to serve their constituents in the most effective manner possible. Learn more at wicounties.org. That's wicounties.org. Today's episode of The Cabin was hosted by Andrea Belke and Megan Christian and produced by Andrea Belke. Audio engineering by Nick Cardarella and video teasers by Andrea Belke and Megan Christian with social media by Megan Christian. The Cabin is a production brought to you by Discover MediaWorks. To learn more, head to discovermediaworks.com and don't forget to leave a review.